Hello and welcome to another episode of the Father Support Network. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Wampa, and today we're going to be speaking on a very important topic: the five do's and don'ts uh, when you break up with your ex. What are the five? I'm going to give you five tips of what to do or what not to do. Obviously, there are many things, but I'll just speak on this five. Before we get to it, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video and share this video to as many uh, that would benefit from it. So, what are the five do's um, and don'ts? Number one on my list is never stop being in the life of your child. So most times when a relationship breaks down, like I've said, in previous episodes, and this is a common knowledge. When there are children involved in that relationship, usually they stay with their moms, and the men in some instances, in many cases, are expected to pay child support. And I've seen friends where they've gone through the court system, and it could be very daunting. It could be also very expensive, and they've just some have just restricted that relationship between themselves and the child to just paying child maintenance. So they don't see the child, um, they don't visit the child, they don't bring the child home to spend time. They just pay child maintenance, and in some cases, some just can't stand the whole drama and the whole um uh fight with the ex. But I think that is a fatal mistake. Even when the system, the court system, the family system might be unjust, then you might find yourself paying exorbitant amount for a child. Um, I think that shouldn't replace being physically involved in a child's life. I tell you, I do this, and I tell you, it's quite rewarding. And being in a child's life will involve having your child come stay over with you in your place weekends, during holidays, going on holidays with your child, taking your child to school, bringing your child from school, going to the park with your child, um doing activities with your child. These are the things that really matter. Having your impact in the child's life, building that bond. And nothing, nothing beats that. I'm telling you, because that is your seed at the end of the day. You don't just jet off and go make all the babies somewhere else. You need to be in that child's life and make sure, especially at the formative years when they're young, when they're on the time, you should, even throughout their life, or especially at those times, you need to really be there. Number two, if it's possible, if it is possible, do not sleep with your eyes, because I've been guilty of this as well. There have been times when early on, or whatever, at whatever point you break up with your ex, and you some men think they need to sleep with their ex in order to be involved in a child's life, or some ex might use that as a weapon. But it never turns out well, because what happens is, you know when when things go south, then you can see the child again. And again, it just complicates things, because the kids are confused. They don't understand what is going on. One minute that their mommy are together, the next minute they are not together. And it just brings some kind of like emotions. It creates all kind of emotional problem. Because exes have moved on. If you've broken up irreparably, if you had not been able to fix your relationship, it would just create more drama, more tension, because you just might have other people that it might create even paternity issue. You might end up having your ex might be pregnant. You might think, who owns the child now? Because you're still dealing with your ex. Your ex might have other people they're dealing with. You might have other people you're dealing with. So you just you know creating issues with you and other people that you've all gone ahead dating. So I think no, that is a no-no in my opinion. I think you should just draw a boundary. There should be a boundary. Number three. Speaking of that, I think again one of the things that also happens that I've also experienced. Don't speak ill about your child, about your ex in front of your child. Not even speaking about your ex, especially not in front of them, or argue. The kids pick up on that. Pick up on that energy. They pick up on all of that. So I have a situation where it might be on the phone. It could even be on the phone, and the kids can hear you on the phone, and they hear the arguments, and they hear it affects them emotionally. It affects the kids feel like they have to pick sides. They put in that in the middle where they have to like, are they have to gonna side with mom, or they're gonna side with dad. So I think it's best to just deal with your child. Do what you have to do with your child. Whatever grounds you have against us, deal with us outside of the children. Keep the children away from it. You need to protect that innocence. You need to protect them from whatever drama, because that is gonna tell it's gonna complicate. Even the silent, uh, even the silent. I'll give an instance. There's even the when you're not even talking. Let's say you call me, you drop the chat contact, you don't talk, you go. They pick up on all those things. They pick up on all those silent fights, even when you don't talk. So we have to be very very careful, not to one speaking of them, and also, we could also be wrong even in our silence, how we do during exchange of contact and all of that. When the kids are there, they look at all of this, and then it's not also a good look for them. It's not something they want to model on. It's not something they want to look and see. You want to give them a proper model of behavior. So that is not good. And then the next thing is you need to relating to that. You need to maintain a civil and cordial relationship with your ex, and what that means is you need to be businesslike. You don't need to be friendly with your ex. You don't need to be in on good terms. You go to work, you have colleagues that you're not necessarily friends with them, but you have to deal with them in a civil mannered way. You need to deal with them in a civil way. You need to deal with them in a polite way. You need to deal with them within the work ethical protocol. You need to, so that's the same way. You need to be like, you know, you need to be professional with them. You need to be like, you need to see them as the work colleague. You need to see them as the next person on the street that you walk by. You don't walk by and just talk in the house. You have to be civil, you have to be cordial, you need to be busy. And that's why, again, sleeping with heirs can complicate that, because once you start sleeping, then the familiarity, then you can't maintain that frame. You can't maintain that civil frame, because then again, you might get jealousy, then another man jealous, and all of these kind of like complicate issues. So, I think it's better to be civil, be cordial. But being cordial means also knowing boundaries. You don't step off, you don't, you need to put boundaries in place. You don't go saying certain stuff. You know, you just keep it civil. And lastly, I think you have to create memories. That is very, very key, because the kids, especially when they're young, they would remember all of that. And then if they're with one parent, it's possible they might be told a different narrative. And the memories you create, and that's why again it's important when I said from the number one is continue to be in their life. So it relates to creating memories. When you create memories together, you have pictures, you go out together on a picnic, you're on a holiday, you have pictures, you have all of these things that tell a story. Kids like stories. All of these pictures, all of these things tell a story. And then you know it is what it is, unfortunately, that they're not in the same roof with you and your ex, but they can have something closest to they can still have something closest to that, but close, to that experience, by you doing your bit, by you being involved, being physically involved, taking them out, having pictures, creating those live bonds and all of that. I think, yeah, I don't want to make it look simple. There are situations where it is difficult, but I think we should make effort. We should try everything in our power to make it. I've done it, and I believe other fathers are doing it, but I think you can do it as well. So you know, it's good once again to talk to you, and I hope able to gain one or two things from what I said. And yeah, again, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it widely, and I'll see you next time.